Well, hello, everyone. How is everyone doing today? How's my audio? My audio okay? Check, 1, 2. Yeah, I think my audio levels are good. Let me know if you can't hear me. I'll adjust them accordingly. Oh, man. This week is Valentine's Day. Oh, another commercialized day that forces men to feel bad about not buying stuff. Man. Calvin! Hey, thanks for following. Appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, man, I don't... Gold Soldier! Hey, good to see ya. I don't know about you, but I've been with my wife for 19 years. I think I've done everything you can do for Valentine's Day. Like, I'm tapped out. All the creative, romantic ideas, like, I'm done. I got nothing. Like, nothing. I'm out. I don't know. But there's this, this, what's the word I'm looking for? In the whole, like, not community. I'm always in the dev space. I'm always thinking community. But the social expectation on people to go and spend a lot of money and do things for your significant other to prove that you love them. I don't know. Is it just me, or I just think that's a bunch of BS? I don't know. I guess when you're together with someone as long as I am, you've done everything. Like, what's there left to do? You've done the trips, you've done the flowers, the candies, the surprises, the parties, the getaways. Like, what's left to do? I don't know. Anyone got any ideas? Because I'm all out of ideas, man. KR Jax, we have a budget. Would be mean to blow a budget without talking about it. Exactly. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because recently I myself have put myself, me and my wife have put ourselves on a budget, a monthly budget. We have some financial goals. And so to achieve those goals, we are going to be much more strict on where our money goes. And so we have a budget and we're sticking to it. And so, but yeah, I just think it's funny how, like, our society has basically morphed into the whole, you get shamed if you don't do anything. You know what I'm talking about? And girls do it to themselves. Oh, well, my man did this. Oh, my man did that. Oh, my man sent me flowers to my work in front of everybody so I can show them all up how much better I'm loved than they are. Like, oh my gosh, give me a break. Is there a movie about this? There needs to be a movie about this. I would be surprised if there's not a movie about this. It could be a movie. But, so yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do for Valentine's Day for my wife this year. I don't like eating out on Valentine's Day. It's stressful. Lots of people. Prices get jacked up. Traffic is horrible. Maybe just cook something and have it at home. I'm a homebody. I can't help it. I'm a homebody. I don't know. I'll have to think of something, I guess. Or I'll be socially shamed. Right? Oh, man. But anyways, how is everyone out in the development land? Everything good? Anyone have any plans this weekend? Besides the Valentine's thing, like, just take Valentine's out of it. We're doing Dave Ramsey's baby steps. Oh, nice! Karax, depending on your home situation, do some chores you aren't normally assigned to do. Cook. But that would be very dangerous for me. I could have... You know what I should do? I should order takeout, throw away all the evidence, dirty up some pots and pans, and say I did it. No, she would know that I didn't. You know what? I take that back. I can make a pretty good spaghetti with the whole... You just open the can of sauce and you pour it in there, right? Yes, Calvin, I would be off budget. For sure. Sure, yes, we would be off budget. So I can make a mean peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? Because I know just the perfect mixture between the peanut butter and the jelly. My kids call me the P&J master, because I am. So, you know what? I am, normally on my stream, I'm coding, I'm doing all these different technologies, whether it be Blazor or Vue or React or WPF and Prism and all this crazy stuff. I thought I would do an experiment. And so I have been approached. Oh, Ghost Soldier. I think it does not have to be expensive, just romantic. You know what? I'm romantic every day. Oh yeah, I throw that charm on every day. To me, Valentine's Day is just another day of me being myself. And I'm sure my wife agrees with me 1,000%, right? But as I was saying, I'm going to try an experiment. I was approached by Pluralsight to update my introduction to Prism course, right? Death Knight, how you doing? And so, these things take a lot of time and effort from the very beginning, right from creating your course proposal, outlining everything, to getting it submitted, going through that whole editing process just on the proposal, to actually creating all the content for the course, recording the course, editing it, all that great stuff, right? So they're like, hey, Brian, we want you to update your course. It's pretty old, which I agree with. It's really old. 2011 was when it was published, and I wrote it in 2010, towards the end, right? Death Knight. I ran into an issue with tests for Prism modularity. Okay, interesting. Gave me an error of an API restriction. I wonder if he ran it. You know what? I haven't seen that. Haven't seen that. No effects. Thanks for joining. Have a good one. But yeah, Death Knight. I haven't seen that one. That's interesting. I don't know what context that would be in. Yeah, that's a strange one. Anyways, so I thought I would kind of change my stream. It's going to take a while. I ain't going to lie. It's going to take a while. But I would walk everyone through the process from beginning to end on what it actually takes for a Pluralsight author to create a course. And in my case, I'm updating one. So it's not going to be as bad, but it's still going to be a lot of work. And so everyone will get to see what goes into it. And maybe you'll decide for yourself if this is something you could do. Well, of course it's something you could do. But if it's something you want to do, because it does take a lot of time. Okay, so I've been giving some parameters, right? Been giving some parameters. They want me to try to reduce my course length, because right now, actually, let me share my desktop here. Right, oh, actually, my head's in the way. Duck, lean back. You see that? 4 hours and 7 minutes is how long the course is right now. And so they want me to try to get that as close to possible, 3 hours as possible. Now they're saying there's no exact length, right? It's not like it's a hard cutoff on 3 hours. But they have stats and statistics and stuff about watch times, about, try to keep it as short as possible, but they're not going to care if it goes over, right? And so the first thing I have to do with this Introduction to Prism update is I have to create a new proposal, okay? So this is essentially like creating a new course. I have to create a new proposal. Because this is so old, I have to actually go through this old course and evaluate what needs to go away and what can stay and what needs to be added. Because there's been a lot of updates, a lot of new things, like the new dialogue service, for example, right? A lot of things have gone away. So we can remove stuff, which is good. And of course, every single video or clip in this course, every slide, every demo has to be redone from scratch. And so I will be creating all that content. I'll be creating the slides. I'll be creating all the demos. So in essence, in this stream, you're going to get a free Pluralsight course viewing as well. Because you're going to watch me creating all the demos and creating all the slides and talking about the slides. Because you're going to have to help me, right? Because you have to help me decide what I'm going to talk about. because there's some things maybe I shouldn't talk about. Maybe I go too deep into certain topics that I should have gone into. It's like, you know what? And one thing I did learn, oh, KR Jax, looking forward to this. Would love to use Prism. Awesome. This should be a lot of fun then. But one thing I learned from this very first course, right, is that I showed too many ways to do something. I try to be very, like, non-opinionated, right? I didn't really show someone how I would do something. I really wanted people to learn the framework and how flexible it was and all this great stuff. I'm not going to do that this time. In this update, I'm going to teach you as if I was doing it myself. My recommendations, right? So no more do it however you want. No, this is going to be do it this way because I've had the most experience doing this way, right? I've been more successful at any other way doing it this way. So I'm going to teach you that way. Death Knight. Issue appears to be with load catalog, and it tries to load the test assembly, but it's already loaded. Oh, I do remember something like that. Except it was with the module catalog. Yes. I haven't had time to look into that, but it has something to do with the way that I think it has something to do with the way XUnit loads assemblies for running tests. So it tries to load it again, even though it's loaded already, and it just won't work. I know what you're talking about. So if you're trying to run the test, just do it in release mode, and those tests won't even run. If you're building source code, which I think is what you're doing, if you're building the source code, we have a compiler directive that says don't run the modularity tests or the catalog specifically, the catalog tests when you're in release mode. So yes, so no FX. That is way more good. Yes, that's a lot better for beginners. I agree 100%. And so on this course, I learned that lesson. Now, going forward, I'm going to show you my opinion of what you should do, how you should code a Prism app. No more, oh, use MVC or use view model first or use MVP or this or that or, oh, you could do it this way or that way. Nope, not going to happen. I'm going to tell you, do it this way. Do it this way. I guarantee success. Detonated. Hello, my friend. Thanks for joining. Dobrovecha. Okay, so the first step is I have to create a proposal, right? I have to create a proposal, and I've already downloaded the template right here. And just so happens, I'm going to do a little copy and paste a little bit because I have, let me find it first. I don't know where it's at. I have another proposal that I was working on for the Prism for Xamarin Forms course. And so I think this is it right here. No, you haven't missed anything. I've just been explaining what I'm going to be working on the next number of streams over the next couple months. Is we're creating a Pluralsight course together. Everything from creating a proposal, which we're about to do here, to like the slides, the demos, the questions that you have to answer. Like I have to create question and answer for your tests, right? I mean, I got to do all that stuff, recording and editing and publishing and the whole process. Right, so you're going to get to see what it takes to create a Pluralsight course. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is that we've got to start this proposal. And if you're interested or thinking of becoming a Pluralsight author, hey, where's my... Hey, why can't I... Okay, I think I do... no, window... There we go. Okay. You will have to do this first. They're going to make you create a proposal that they will review and decide if it's worth accepting. Okay, so in this case, we're doing an update. So introduction to Prism. However, I would like to rename it. Note: can we rename to Prism for WPF? Because I am still under contract for this Prism for Xamarin Forms, right? And so I've actually done a lot of this content already. I've already recorded a ton of it, actually. And I'm still under contract for this. So I'm going to ask if we can rename this to Prism for WPF, but we'll see. It may have to stay Introduction to Prism. The author, it's me, Brian Lagunas. Dan, how relevant is it though? You know, the parts I recorded are still relevant. I've already recorded the delegate command stuff, composite command, event aggregator, view model locator, all that stuff is the same. The only part I'll have to change, because I haven't got to the navigation stuff yet, right? I haven't got to the navigation stuff, so not worried about that. I'll just have to update my slides and my samples. And that, yes, Dan, I recorded all the Prism core stuff. All that is done. I will have to re-record the Creating Your Xamarin Forms project because we did have some changes there. But other than that, I have like 4 modules left on that one and I'm done. But it's only, I'm still under contract. I have to finish it. They're yelling at me, finish this, so I got to do that. However, they said that the update is more important for the current course because it's so outdated. They're about to retire it. And so they said, you have to update this. I'm like, okay, I'm going to update it. Okay. So the level, this is definitely going to be a beginner course. So they want this course about 3 hours. I'm at 4 hours now for the existing course, but they wanted it 3. So I'm going to try to hit 3. But you know what? I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to come back to that. This is definitely software development, right? Audience profile. What I write here? This course targets .NET developers. Ah, yes, I can almost copy and paste this. I'm so glad I did this work already. Oh, so this course targets .NET developers who are already familiar with building building WPF applications using C#, but need a framework for building testable, maintainable, extensible MVVM applications. Perfect. Okay, so abstract. What did I put for my abstract? To be determined 3 or 4. You know, I think it's going to be, I think it will be around 3 because I think we're going to be able to remove a lot of stuff. Okay, so abstract. Okay, I hate writing abstracts. Let me skip the abstract, even though I could probably copy and paste that. I hate writing abstracts. Okay, so prerequisites assumes that a developer already has, already has an understanding of developing WPF applications. Okay. Viewers should also be experienced in, what's that there? XAML, C#, Visual Studio, and have an understanding of the MVVM design pattern. An understanding of dependency injection is preferred, for sure. Right? So this course assumes that developers already, already have, and I'm sorry. I don't know why I changed that. Because it told me that. Consider using verbs instead. No. I don't want to use verbs. So this course assumes that developers already have an understanding of developing WPF applications. Viewers should also be experienced in XAML, C#, Visual Studio, and have an understanding of the MVVM design pattern. An understanding of dependency injection is also preferred. Okay. Looks good. Relationship to existing courses. This is an update to the existing introduction to Prism course. Okay. So description of sample project scenario. I think this is going to be the same as well. Right, so each concept of this course will have an let me paste text. Each concept will have an independent sample that will demonstrate the feature being discussed. This provides a focused approach to learning the available framework features without the clutter of other unrelated code. Yes, that will be the same. Ooh, technology. So what are we going to be using in this? We will be definitely using Visual Studio 2019. What version? I think it's 16.4.4 is what I'm on. Right? And then, of course, Prism. We are 7.2. Let's see. C# for sure. You know what? Let me ask everyone this. Should this be .NET Core? I'm curious. We'll probably use C# 8. But should this be .NET Core? Maybe all the samples should be .NET Core samples. .NET Core 3.1. 3.1. Oh, yeah, I'll just do .NET Core. Okay. So, yep, looks like it. Dan, Ghost Soldier, Calvin, they're all saying .NET Core. So, boom. You guys decided, I'm doing it. .NET Core. No more .NET Framework. That's out the window. Golly, I hate abstract so much. God. And use dry IOC instead of that Unity crap. You know what? I might actually. Although technically it doesn't matter what I use. But I am starting to like dry IOC because it's just it's higher performing than Unity on both desktop and in Xamarin. That's the only reason, real. But you can't go wrong with either one, honestly. Okay, abstract. What can I reuse out of this? This is supposed to create experience. Nope. Okay. Watch this course. Ugh. Dan. Yeah. So Calvin said, Dan, tell us how you really feel. And Dan's like, yeah, he gets in trouble when he does that. He does. I've seen it firsthand. You know what? I don't want to... I'll come back to this abstract. Oh, wait a minute. I'm updating an existing course. Can we do this? Can I just copy and paste this? Is that... Hold on. Let me look at this. Maybe. Maybe not. I'm not sure. I might be able to just copy and paste a lot of this stuff. Yes. Get rid of Silverlight. Get rid of Windows Phone. You know what? I'm going to start with this. This is at least a good starting point. All right. You don't know how to design and build desktop applications. Delete. Using loosely coupled components that can evolve independently, but which can be easily and seamlessly integrated into the overall application. This is an introductory course that concentrates on the basic concepts required to build a composite application. This is not the Microsoft Patterns and Practices framework. With the Prism library. And we will get rid of a version. And we will get rid of Bootstrapper because that does not exist anymore. Right? That's gone. It's an introductory course that concentrates on the basic concepts required to build a composite application with the Prism library, which includes the regions, modules, view composition. Well, we got commanding, and different techniques for communicating between loosely coupled components. That would be event aggregator right there. Okay, that's good for me. Hope that's good for everyone else. So now we get to the part where we have to start outlining our modules. So let's look at what we have, and you can help me decide what we're going to put in there. Dan, well, the Bootstrapper is still there for WPF. Would you want to maybe cover the appropriate time? You know what? I might mention the Bootstrapper just to give some guidance, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep the Bootstrapper around. I don't know. I haven't decided. I mean, it's just sitting there. It could sit there and live on forever. Just because I know so many applications are using that thing. And people are lazy and they don't want to just make the changes to convert over. I don't know. Yes, KR Jax, it's going to be .NET Core. We have decided this will be a .NET Core based project now. Okay, so looking at getting started... What do we have here? Yes, Dan, it is an edge case where you would need a bootstrapper. Honestly, the only place you would need a bootstrapper now is if you're writing like a plugin to some IDE and you don't have an actual application to start up, right? So I don't know if I want to support that scenario or not. I don't know. So getting started, we probably will have a getting started, some type of introduction, right? We will definitely have some type of introduction. Let me see. What did I put here? So this is, we're going to do introduction. If I can spell. Yes, a 90-second course introduction. Whatever. Do not edit or remove this module from the course. What? What is this? Yeah, Dan, exactly. I think it's good to support, but you think I want to support every scenario? Exactly. The only thing that we have going for us is that the bootstrapper already exists and we don't have to do any work. We just have to leave it there. We don't have to touch it. So what are they doing here? This is new. Do not remove this. You will need a narrative, a very brief informational course overview toward the end of course production in preparation for publication. So course overviews are the first module of your course and are accessible outside. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is like a stinger, right? Like a marketing clip that they're going to use. Okay, cool. So I can skip that. However, we will need an introduction. And it looks like concepts. We introduce the Prism library, describe its major features, where to find it, how to install it, and helpful Visual Studio plugins that could be used to be more productive. I can totally do that. I can totally do this. Prism for WPF applications. Oh, I love this. Okay. Where to find it, how to install it. Okay, great. And so, what is Prism? Looks good to me. You know what? I don't need to talk about the .NET Foundation at all. Actually, let's do this. Oh, this is awesome. I'm going to try to reuse as much as I can. So here are my recordings for my introduction for the Xamarin. So it looks like Prism on GitHub, Prism on NuGet, and Prism Template Pack. But I have a couple of clips here. GitHub, Template Pack, NuGet, what is Prism? Let me bring that back up. So I'm going to copy this. What is Prism? We're going to do Prism on GitHub. Prism on NuGet. And then the Prism Template Pack. Right? Dan, am I missing anything? That's basically an introduction, right? How we're going to find it, how to install it, and some plugins to Visual Studio. I think that's all we're going to cover here. So that's what is Prism, okay, NuGet, boom, summary. Okay. Sweet. Are they wanting descriptions under these? I mean, that's gonna suck if they do. No demo. Oh my gosh, they're gonna want descriptions on all this mess. Okay. Dragonheart 83. Thanks for joining. Yeah, Dan, wouldn't go too in depth. We have too many ways of finding it, installing it. Yeah. And you know what? This would probably only take 10 minutes. Oh, that's what I put over here. Yep. See, my mind, 10 minutes. Actually, let's do this. I can tell you exactly how long it's going to take. These are all the video clips. Let me bring up the properties. Ooh, it took 15 minutes, actually. So let me add 15. Because that took 15 minutes. And new logo. Yes. And new logo. Okay. So I think this is a good introduction. It follows what I did there. And if I'm looking at my introduction, what is Prism, benefits, get Prism, installing. See, building blocks. I don't know if I care about this. What is this? Let's look at this. I'm gonna watch this. What? Oh, there we go.
Let's talk about some of the major building blocks that you'll be using when building a
yes,
Prism application.
Let's do.
So much detail about some of the. Now, the first is just a template. Regions are a view as a single would not depend modules that contain a number with.
I don't think I need to do this.
Pattern. That's responsible for create and configure module catalogs, your container, if you're using Unity IOC container. It's also where you create and initialize the shell.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to talk about this here. I'm not going to talk about that at all. Where's my... You should talk slowly and concisely so people can follow what you're saying in the videos. Actually, they have this... you could slow down the speed. So I can talk normally and people can adjust the speed. Let's see. See, I don't think I should be talking about the building blocks, really. I would talk about what Prism is. But I don't know. What do you think? Is this anything that's worth talking about? What's we have here? I mean, maybe.
When created from within, this is the typical application design.
Yeah, I remember this slide. I remember this. Man, this is old. Huh. Dan always listens to Chickmunk mode. Oh, come on. Come on, Pluralsight. This is only 54 seconds long.
When creating an application from within Visual Studio, design that you'll see most...
Yeah, I'll just mute that. I don't need to hear myself. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Isn't that? I might need to use that. That's just a good looking slide right there. Maybe I could talk about this a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if this course should focus so much on explaining all about Prism and what it does, or really just how to do stuff. Right? Like, oh, and this is all gone. I don't have to do that. Like benefits. I'll talk about the benefits. I could definitely do that. A lot of this stuff is going to change. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure how in depth I should go about this. How I should talk about this. Yeah, KR Jax, I think you're right. Like, just talk about the concepts or introduce the concepts as you encounter them. I mean, I am going to talk briefly. Let me bring up my... about what is Prism. And, you know, I can kind of just show this slide about how it takes this app and turns it into something more like... Okay, it's going to go slow. But basically how it takes a very monolithic type application design, one project, one everything, and divide it up into separate modules. I could probably talk about that. Okay. So what is next? Okay, so I'm going to be able to get rid of... Actually, you know what? This probably will be 10 minutes. Because I got through all this stuff in 15. Ooh, my other intro was 15, though. I'll leave it at 15 for now. Okay, so the next is we have Bootstrapper in the shell. Well, I know this. This is going away. Like, I'm not going to cover the Bootstrapper. Not going to talk about the bootstrapper. I'm not going to talk about the bootstrapper process. I'm not going to talk about the application load startup process because it doesn't matter. I'm just going to show you how to do stuff, right? This is all about, you know, here's a concept. This is how you do it. And so let's go back to this. Responding, turning your Xamarin Forms. So one thing I did on the Xamarin Forms course that I'm recording is I showed you how to convert an existing application, and I showed you how to create your own application, right? So maybe I should do something along those lines. Like we're just going to jump into writing an app, right? Just jump right into it, right? Creating your first Prism application. Something like that. I'm not sure if I should capitalize your or not. But maybe we should do something like this. Like, okay, here's the introduction, and boom, we're just hopping right into creating the application. There's no more this, where is it? Right here. No bootstrapper shell stuff. This is, we're gonna take a WPF application. Oh, you don't hear the pretzel rocks? I hear it. Hold on. Hold on. That's weird. Maybe you have a crappy mic. Do you hear it now, Dan? I turned it up just a little bit because I don't want it overpowering. And maybe you don't have good headphones on. Okay, so this is going to be all about creating your first app. This is taking an existing WPF application and converting it. And it's going to be using the Prism template pack to create one using that. Okay. Oh, look at this. Meth. Yeah. Definitely not even going to talk about anything dealing with meth at all. Yeah, it's supposed to be really quiet. Is anyone else not hear the background music by chance? Just curious if anyone listening has can't hear it or hears it. Doesn't matter, I guess. But yeah, so there's no meth. I'm not talking. Meth is dead to me. Dead. Prism will never support meth again. Oh, he doesn't either. Okay, let's fix this. There, hopefully that won't be too loud. It should be quiet. Okay, good level. KRJack says it's a good level. Okay, good. Perfect. I don't want it like, you know, talking over me or anything like that or playing over me. Just kind of in the background. And yes, meth does sound like meth. And actually, the brainchild of meth was Glenn Block. And he used to be referred to as the meth dealer. It's a horrible geek joke. Horrible geek joke. Okay, so no meth. But I do want to show creating, converting an existing project and creating a new project. So it's going to be very similar to what we did here. Okay, let's put our objectives in here. Prism for WPF. Has to offer you need to convert it to a full-blown Prism application. This module walks you through the steps necessary to convert your app to a Prism app. It also covers the initialization process, the services it uses, and even shows you how to properly add an app.xaml file to your app. Okay, so this part is not a problem. What the heck is this? Feral felon? Want to become famous? Okay. Buy followers, primes, and viewers. Okay, looks like you need to be blocked. No spamming on my channel, my friend. Probably a bot anyways. Probably not a real person. I gotta figure out how to moderate that. Okay. So, actually, I'm gonna have to yeah, this is part of the Xamarin course I have to re-record. Because when that was recorded, the templates from Xamarin didn't even include an app.xaml file. Remember, it was all code. Okay, so Prism application. We're going to be talking about, I guess I could talk about the initialization process. And the only reason I say that is because it's important to understand what comes first in the process. So when you're overwriting things like on-initialized or initialize shell or create shell, like you got to kind of know the order in which those happen, because if you don't, you might get yourself in trouble. Right. Okay, so I'm not adding. You know what? Let me just open up that. Yeah, Dan, takes me back to the days where Prism was published by Brian doing builds manually. Well, I had a PowerShell script that did it. I just had to right click and say run it. But yes, it was manual. Okay, let's look at this. Let me look at my slides for this one. What did I talk about? An easier way to create your app. Ooh, okay. So I'm not talking about this. But I do need to talk about this. So this is going to be a short one, actually. I could totally... I do have the shell to talk about in this one. Because you create the application, you gotta have a shell, right? I think so. I think you have to have a shell. So... Okay. WPF application. Initialization process. What was it? Nope. An easier way to create your app. Yes. I like that. For sure, I like that. I do need to talk about the shell in here. What the heck? How do they... Okay. And the services it uses. Actually, I didn't talk about the services it uses. Even in this one, I didn't do it. So it also covers creating a shell. That's what it also covers. Also covers the process of creating a shell. Actually, crap. I got a question for everyone. Well, where should the shell come into this? Where did it come in my existing course? Bootstrapper, organize your solution, create a Unity Bootstrapper. What is a shell? Okay, so it came after you create the Bootstrapper. That's fine. So I can follow that same kind of thing right there. Creating a shell. Converting your WPF application. The initialization process. Creating a shell. And then an easier way to create your application. And in this case, I'm going to be using the Prism template pack to create the application. Which is better. Okay, so after that, what do we have? So I don't have to talk about the meth bootstrapper. I don't have to, actually, I'm not talking about the bootstrapper at all. And this was 21 minutes. So if I go to my Xamarin course, how long was this one? This was 23 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to say this is going to take me 20 minutes. Right, 20 minutes. Okay. The module title. So this is the, well, third one actually. And so regions, modules, views. What the hell did I talk about in views? Oh, I gotta really think about this. What's this? Bhaskar. How about submitting a Prism talk, which I am helping organize for .NET Open Source Days? Oh, we got a link here. .NET Open Source Days. Depends on what it is for one. Tentative is April 17th. Actually, I'll look at that. I don't know if I'm in town on April 17th. Let me look at my calendar. I am in town on April 17th, actually. Maybe. Maybe. Okay. So we're basically creating that Prism application. We're creating a shell. We have our first application going, right? Like, boom, we have an app. We're showing it. It has a shell. That's what this is all about. The next one is regions, right? So regions is gonna basically probably be the same. Nothing's really changed. Nothing's changed with regions at all. So I can take this. You have a typo in initialization. Also, wouldn't it be better to include it in the description above as well? Yeah, detonated actually probably is a good idea. Also creates the application initialization process, right? Of creating, initially process of creating, how about this? Of the Prism application and how to create the initial application shell. Something like that. Yes, Dan, I am afraid to go to that code. Okay. So in order to take full advantage of everything Prism for WPF has to offer, you need to convert to a full-blown Prism application. This module walks you through the steps necessary to convert your app to a Prism app. It also covers the application initialization process of the Prism application and how to create an initial application shell. Awesome. And once we have our shell, now we can start creating regions and defining regions. Here's the tricky part, though. Let's go back to here. So when I'm talking about regions, okay, region manager, yep, have to do that. You have to know what the region manager is. This looks good. Creating a custom region for sure. Let me... Is this even playing? Oh, there we go. Oh, I must have been talking. So creating a region. Yeah, okay. Oh, and I'm actually experimenting there. Oh, but in this case, oh man, look, I already have a module. Look, in this sample, what I want to do is I want to conceptually introduce these topics one at a time without introducing a lot of other topics. The problem is you can't realistically do that because everything kind of depends on everything. So here I'm talking about, you know, adding things to the region. However, I'll talk about navigation further on, about region navigation. I might want to consider rearranging this stuff. Right? I mean, if we think about... You know what? Let me look. I have some training material for... I gave some training when I was in Japan. Here. What was day one? So you had Bootstrapper and Shell. Regions. Oh, hey, I could probably use some of this. Hey, oh! I might be able to reuse a lot of these slides for my course. Look at this. Hold on, let me run the... I want to see what this looks like. Oh. Hey, this is pretty cool. Hey, I'm so excited I found this. Ooh, I have a lot of good stuff here. Oh, this is awesome. This would change because there's no Bootstrapper anymore. Ooh, okay, I'm excited now. So, and it looks like I did change. I'm talking about regions here. Then I'm talking about views. Right? Then we talk about view discovery, view injection, view discovery. Then we talk about view. Oh, wait, but this is, now we're getting into like, this is getting into navigation. But then we go modules. I actually have a lot of good slides here. Wow, I forgot about all of this. So the order that I went, it looks like, excuse me, I went... So, okay, Bootstrapper Shell. So this is no longer Bootstrapper Shell. This is creating your first Prism application. We're going to talk about the Prism application class. We'll talk about the initialization. And we'll create a shell because it's simple. And that's perfect. Then we hop into regions. Whereas my current course, that's what I did. I jumped into regions. Okay. So after I jump into regions... What are regions? Region manager. Because this really explains what things are really well. I talk about region adapter. Yep. So right here, custom regions right here. That's what that is. Supported region adapters. Create a custom region. Yep. Okay, yep. Then I go into views. which if we look at this, that's before module. So we actually move that up. We move this up. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Then we talk, because views is really short. What do I talk about in views here? What is a view? Creating a view. See, and this is one of those areas where I got different, you know, creating your MVVM differently, right? Like I just showed you all these different ways of doing the same thing. It's like, ugh. No. We don't want to do that. Then we talk about view discovery and view injection. And here's meth. Yep, that's going to go away. View injection. And, okay. Yes. And then, so the state-based navigation, I'm probably getting rid of this altogether. This is stupid, honestly. This whole thing can go away. That whole thing can go away. Commanding. Oh, but there's something else in here we have to talk about. Oh, hold on. This is actually going to be more complicated than I thought. I got to really think this through. Because we have event aggregator. That's modularity. Commanding. Gotta talk about commands. Gotta talk about commands. View model locator. Okay, so we create our first app. We probably have to have a shell. I mean, not a shell. We have to have views. We gotta have views. And here we're talking about view discovery and view injection. And MVVM. Actually, I'm going to pull MVVM out of this. Because it doesn't matter. At this point, it's just a view. We don't care about that. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me bring up my notepad. So we know we have the intro, or no, you know, create your first app, right? We got that. We did. Let me bring up my document here. Yeah, create your first apps. Okay, we have an intro. Sorry, we have an intro. So we have an introduction. We have create your first application, and this is talking about the shell and the Prism application class, right? So Prism app shell. Then we can go into views and creating a view, right? View, creating a view. Where's my other awesome slide deck? This one. And then we talk about view composition. Creating a view, right? View composition, which includes view injection and view discovery. So we're not at MVVM yet. Not there yet. This is just all about, I want to try to get these concepts to build on one another. But what we're missing here, we're missing regions. That's what goes here. That's what goes there. Regions. Because that's what I'm working on now. Right? The regions goes here. Create your first app. So views probably don't go here. Regions would probably go here. Right? Yes, because that's how I have it in this slide deck. Okay. Detonated. When will this course be released approximately? I don't know. But I'm building this course on stream. I'm building every aspect of it. So right now we're doing the proposal. And then once Pluralsight buys off on this, we're going to start creating on the slides. We're going to create all the samples. I'm going to plan out what I'm going to talk about. I probably won't record on stream, but I will probably record at night, and then we can edit together. And you'll see how the whole editing process works. And then we'll submit these to Pluralsight for review, because every clip that you record has to be reviewed and feedback given to you. You have to make updates and changes and all this crazy crap before it's accepted and uploaded. It's quite the process. Do you have a streaming schedule for this? I got lucky and caught you on Twitter this time, but it'd be nice to know about when to tune in. I stream every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. And Detonated. Looking really forward to this, as it has a lot of things that I have to learn about. Yeah. And there's no better way to learn than to teach it. So you're going to see me go through all the concepts and everything I had to talk about in order to teach it. And you're going to... Anyone who watches this from beginning to end is going to be an expert in Prism. Let's just put it that way. You will be an expert. You are getting one-on-one training from the guy who wrote it. So... Okay, so definitely regions. I actually like this training I did, and this is just day one. Yeah, Dan says if you're not sure what Mountain Time is, GMT -7, just look up Boise, Idaho. Just Google time in Boise, Idaho. Yeah. So okay, what are regions? Let me do a quick... I'm going to do this first. So, regions. What are regions, right? Region manager. Yep. Let's see. Looks good. Defining regions, it looks like. Okay, we have region adapters. This looks good. Then we have a custom region adapter. Okay, custom region adapter. And that's it. Exclamation point uptime. What's that mean? Detonated. Is that a command I need to add? I've never seen that before. Is that something that a lot of people, a lot of streamers use for anything in particular? Okay, so let's go back here. So, yeah, what are regions? Region manager. Creating a cut. Yep, creating regions. Custom region. Okay, so that's good. That's that. So, let's do this. Let's go here. Oh, it displays how long the current stream session is. Oh, actually, looks like I've been live for 1 hour and 3 minutes so far. So we're definitely gonna talk about regions. And I can copy and paste. Hey, where's the... No, that's not what I wanted. There's supposed to be a... There's supposed to be some text. Description. Not transcript. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Okay, so I can't copy and paste that. Detonated. That's what I wanted to know, because from what I have noticed so far, it should be something like 7 p.m. my time. Ooh, after dinner. Perfect. Dry. Extract these slides to another class. Yeah, no kidding. Okay. So regions is good. That looks good. This looks good right here. Okay, views. So this is going to slightly change a little bit because we have regions and modules, but I'm going to move modules. I'm moving views up. Definitely going to move views up the chain. Okay, so let's do that. Ahmet, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. So view. Okay, so we did that. So views. So that's the next topic. So after regions. Hey, wait a minute. Really? Views. Okay. And then after the views, what do I have on this slide deck again? So we have views. And I actually like what I did here. What is this? Yeah, this is cool. Oh, I even have animations? Oh, this is neat. Totally forgot about this stuff. Okay, so after views, we have modules. And I think that makes sense. We haven't got to navigation yet. Okay, so let's move modules. Okay, so next we have modules. Right? And so if we look at modules, this was a pretty long one. What are modules? Creating a module. Yep, all that stuff. All this stuff. This is all the same. So I will just put modules there. Then, look at the slide. After we talked about the modules, we got, okay, so that's demo. So that's day one of that training. Let's go to, let's back up, go day two. Let's check out this slide. So after we did that, then we started talking about MVVM. This is the view model locator. Okay. I guess that, I don't know, I kind of feel like the view model locator should go after views almost. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, let's go. View model locator. So this is a new topic. This did not exist in the previous course. But I have a lot of great content for it. Yeah, I have a lot of content. Okay, communication. This is talking about commands. Okay, so after view model locator, actually, I want to kind of divide this out. Composite commands. Right, so what do I have currently? So after modules, okay, communication. What do I have? We have delegate command, composite command, event aggregation. So I put all of those in one, and this is a big module. Oh, man. What did I do for my Xamarin course that I was working on? Slides. So we talked about I command, delegate command, and composite command in one. So responding to user interaction. Okay, actually, this is a really good title for this one too. So that I need to divide this up a little bit. So not under communication. Not doing that. So, yeah, okay. Where's my, here? So here we're going to do, so that's, yeah, modules. We'll do modules. Then 7. I feel like I'm creating more work for myself. 8. Okay. 9. This is probably going to be event aggregation. That's probably what that's going to be. Because we're talking about I command, delegate command, composite command, right? Man, these are great slides. I'm so proud of myself. Okay. Ooh, event aggregator. Check out these slides. Do I have animations on these? Oh, I do. Look at that. Those are beautiful. Okay, so event aggregation, filtering events, unsubscribe from events. Oh, region context. That's it. I don't even know if I'm going to talk about this, honestly. And then we get to navigation. All right, then we do navigation. La, 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 la. I think I'm making this thing bigger than than normal. So navigation. Oh, I got my, yeah. Event aggregation, modules. Ooh, I'm gonna steal these two, these titles. Bam. Okay. Oh no. Hold on. I gotta let my dog go outside to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. All right. Yes, KR Jack's dog life. And so you might be wondering, Brian, how did you know your dog had to go to the bathroom? Well, on our back door, we actually hang a rope of bells, and we've trained our dog. Whenever she needs to go outside, she'll go and she'll swipe the bells so they ring, and then I can hear them ringing, and she needs to go outside. So that's how I know she has to go outside, and how I can hear it from with my headphones on. She just smacks those bells. It's pretty cool. Navigating your application from within your view model. Ooh. I did good on these titles. Making the connection with the view model locator. I like that title too. I'll come up with some better. Oh, what's this? Hold on. I have one for the event aggregator. Yes. Yes. Detonated smart dog life. Isn't that right? Dan, it'd be really funny if someone trained her to do it to the rhythm of Jingle Bells. Oh my lord, you would. That would be you, Dan. Okay. Let's go back to the current course. Yeah, I'm adding... Oh my gosh. So this has 8 modules. And I'm adding... I'm at 10. Oh, crap. I'm adding more work for myself. And I haven't even talked about the new dialogue service. Ugh. Oh my gosh. I think I'm creating too much work for myself. This doesn't, like, is that it? Communication. You know what I just noticed? I didn't even talk about the interactivity stuff here. None of that interactivity stuff here, which is good. This is great because a lot of that's going away anyways. Very interesting, though. But I'm definitely adding... Well, you know what? Basically what I'm doing is I'm taking communication, which is 46 minutes, and I'm actually... Okay. I'm not adding a ton of work to myself because I'm taking this communication module and I'm splitting it out. I'm taking out delegate command and composite command and separating it into event aggregation. Right? So I'm taking event aggregation out of this. Region context. This is not worth being in a course. You will hardly ever use this, ever. It's a feature, but you won't ever use it. I've never used it. Creating a shared service. Damn, that might be useful to know how to do. Maybe. I don't know if that's something that should be in this course or not. Summary, navigation journal. Okay, so all these are still good. So if we compare... Let me collapse these. Navigation behaviors. That's advanced. And I already have courses, Prism courses for that. So, pluralsight.com. Prism. Like mastering tab control. Showing multiple shells. Loading dependent views. Loading modules based on user roles. Like, these are the advanced ones. That's where you get into navigation behaviors. So, yeah, navigation behaviors are an advanced topic. Keep in mind, this is an introduction course that I'm updating. So we just want to keep it intro level, right? So no scoped regions, because that's a very advanced topic, which is covered in showing multiple shells, right? So if we go... right here, scoped regions, right? So scoped regions is an advanced topic that comes into this course here. So if you're curious about scoped regions and how to properly implement them, do this. Okay. KR Jax, just make sure to reference those courses when you hit those topics. Good point. That's actually a great idea. Okay. So back to... So this is the new... I'm going to make a note. Back to this one. Let's do this. I did definitely add some work for myself. So not a lot of it's going to be updating. A lot of it's going to be creating new content. That's okay, though. That's all right. I'll create new content. That's fine. So I think this covers all the introductory concepts in Prism for WPF. Regions, then views, then modules, view model locator, because this is what I recommend using. Commands, we got delegate commands and composite commands. Event aggregation, navigation is going to be a big one. I may have to split this up into two. If they really don't want modules longer than 30 minutes, I might have to split that up. And then the dialogue service is brand new and really cool. So I think this is a good high level, right? I think this is a, excuse me, I think this will work quite well. Converting, initialization process, create your shell, boom. Okay. So regions, yeah. The region has to come first. It's got to come first. It has to come before the view. And I'm curious. I'm curious how you feel about the view model locator coming after the modules. Let me go back to my training slide deck. This is day 2. So in this case, we talked about MVVM after modules. Right? Man, I am going to steal all these slides too. Oh, you know what I should do right now while I'm thinking about it, actually? Exercise files. I need to download all these. I need to download that because I'm going to be updating them. Right? So let's walk through this. Let's walk through this. Okay. So we create our first application, right? We convert an existing application. We have a shell. I show the Prism template pack, right? Then once you have a shell and you have your app running, we have to add a region. We talk about what regions are, how they work. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's go back to day 1. So Bootstrapper shell regions. Okay, so see in this case, I'm not injecting any regions into it, any views into the region. Oh, God, I hate this. People underestimate how difficult it is to lay out content in a way that makes it easy to understand the concepts being presented. And I want to make sure that this process makes sense. I'm going to shrink this out just a little bit. Right? Because if we're here... No, I want the menu. Okay, I can't do that. Dang it. I want the menu. Creating a region, region manager, create a custom region. You know, maybe in this I don't inject anything into the view. I mean, anything into the region. And that may be fine. Because if we're talking, I'm just talking about defining regions, right? That's all I'm talking about. This concept is the region concept. Talk about what regions are, right? How they kind of work. We talk about the region manager. I'll show you how to define regions. A demo of creating some regions. We talk about a region adapter, actually what's going on behind the scenes, how this works, right? So we have this region, but what actually takes the view and puts it in the region is that region adapter. We talk about the supported region adapters. We want to create a custom region adapter. Okay, and there's how you do that. And you register it with the Prism application class. But we're not injecting anything into the regions yet. As long as we don't inject anything into the regions, I think this will work. Because what I didn't want to happen was I didn't want to show, region injection or view injection, view discovery, view composition in the region module. But the regions accept the views. But as long as my demos don't include that, we're good. Now, maybe I should talk about modules first before views. Oh, okay. I'm unsure of myself now. Well, no. Well, crap. I'm torn. I'm really torn on this one. I don't know if modules should come first or views. Should it go regions, modules, views? Because the reason I say that is we create a region. These are placeholders. The next step is to actually create modules. And these modules are going to contain your views. Maybe this should change. Maybe that should change. I'm trying to think about this conceptually. How when I right click and create a new Prism application, what's the process? What's going through my mind? And yes, you're going to create your Prism application. You're going to define some regions. You're going to create a module, and in those modules, you put your views. Then you can start doing view injection and view discovery and navigation and all that great stuff, right? So when you just have a view, you could do view injection and view discovery. Then we talk about MVVM with the view model locator. Then we get into commanding. Then we get into event aggregation. Whoops. Right? Yes. Then after that, we can get to navigation. And then lastly, we can show dialogues. What does everyone think about that flow? Right? Like, think about this flow. Because, and maybe navigation comes after commands. You know what? Maybe this is what we do. And the reason I say that is, okay, I'm thinking about creating this Prism app, right? I create the application, I define my shell, I start defining my regions, I create some modules. In those modules, I put views, which now that I have views, I could start injecting my views into these regions. Now, navigation will occur normally in a view model. Okay, so you might initially think, oh, we can go from views, right? Creating a view and injecting the view and then go to navigation. But we haven't talked about MVVM yet and how you get the region manager in your view model to do the navigation. And we haven't talked about commands, right? That react to the button click that calls the method that does the navigation. So we can't do that. And Dan is asking, does it make sense to talk about regions and modules before views? Well, yes. And the reason I say this is because this is where we talk about view injection and view discovery. And you cannot do either of these topics until you have a region. No region, no view composition. And so maybe this topic... So I'm at, if modules include views, modules after views makes sense. Modules do have views and view models. So, but you will very rarely, if ever, have an application that does not have a module in it. Because this is why I'm thinking modules needs to go next. And that's because the views that go in that module, that's where you're doing your view injection, your view discovery, right? That's where that's happening. You're not doing this in your shell. Dan say in WPF land, I agree, but I think modules should be after you understand regions and MVVM. I don't know. Because a Prism application will have modules before you have a view. That's why I think it should go first. Because your views, they go in the module. So that the process of creating the app is you're going to create your main executable, you're going to create your shell, you're going to create your region, then you're going to create your module, then you're going to create your views. then you're going to create your view model, right? So that's kind of how it's going. You're not going to create your views first and then your modules, because then you have nowhere to put your views. You don't put your views in your shell. All your views exist outside the shell, inside of a module. Right? Oh, crap. Oh, crap. I have a Boise Code Camp planning lunch. Ugh. But I'm not done. Dan says, you're thinking architecturally, but for 101 course, put it in a single application and you can go from there. No, because this is what you have to understand. A Prism application, it's modular. That's 101. Modules is not something that you just, think about after the fact. It is a requirement. You're going to use a module. Like, this is not like Xamarin Forms at all. It's a completely different way of developing. And so that's why I was saying the process of creating a Prism app for WPF. Create the app, your shell, create your region, create your module, add your views, start injection. Now worry about view model locator with MVVM. Now you do your composite commands, delegate commands. We start navigating around. Oh, now we got to send some messages. Let's send some messages. And you may want to show dialogues. I'm actually thinking modules need to go first. Dan says, yes, I get that, but Prism works fine even for WPF if you don't use modules. You shouldn't do that. Granted, but I would still say talk about the basics. See, this is what I'm talking about. In the past, I would agree. I would have passed, Dan. I would say, technically, you don't need modules, technically, but you shouldn't do that. You will always have at least one module. Always. And so this course is me telling you how you should do it. It's no longer, yeah, you don't have to do it this way, but you could do it that way, or you could do it this way, or... No, I'm going to show you the way I write Prism apps, my thought process, all the way from creating the core infrastructure project, sharing code, like all that stuff. Yes, KR Jax. I like the approach of learning the process in the way that you'll use it. And you'll build them on your own. Exactly. So my thought process is each module, each concept is going to build on the previous. So first you create the app, then you create your region, right? Then you create a module. Now you add views to your module. Now you can start injecting those views from the module into those regions. Oh, let's get into MVVM now. Well, let's talk about the view model locator. Great, now we have MVVM. Let's talk about, commands. Oh, we have a command now. Next is navigation. Now that we have commands, we can start sending navigation around. Now that we're navigating into different parts of our application, we might need to start sending events or communication back and forth between these different parts. Event aggregation. Yeah, I think this flows pretty well, actually. Yeah, so totally get all of that. I'm just thinking if someone doesn't really understand much to begin with, get a hello world without a module. Detonated. Yes, don't do it like you'll have to do it that way, but for now, we'll write it the simple way. Thank you, Detonated. I think you made up my mind for me. You made up my mind for me. That's a great way to put it. I understand, Dan, where you're coming from. However, I'm going to guide people down a path of how you should do it, and you should always do it. And this is the steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, right? Step 5. Like this is the order in which you're going to do things. Every time. Okay, so let's modify this just a tad. We need to switch modules and views. So we're going to switch this one. I'm going to cut that out of here. Let's go down here. Copy that in. Bring this out. Boom. I like that better. After talking through it multiple times, this makes sense to me. This makes a lot more sense to me. Because you don't have any... Yeah, I like this much better. Okay. sending messages, navigation, and then dialogue server. The new dialogue service. I'm not going to talk about any of the... Oh, KR Jax! Awesome! Thanks for the subscription, my brother. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, my friend. Much appreciated. So... I don't think... For one, I'm not going to show any of the interaction stuff. Like the pop-up window action, things like that. Because that's all going away. That's all going away. The pop-up window action is dead. It's been replaced with our new iDialog service. Invoke command action still exists. However, I have moved all that code into the WPF official behaviors project. So, KR Jax, you're using my emote. Nice. But yeah. You know what? Crap, I had that meeting. I'm going to have to come back to this. I'm going to have to come back to this because I have a Boise Code Camp planning meeting. It's March. When is Boise Code Camp? March 21st? It's coming up quick. It's coming up real quick. Zathby5. Looking forward to the course. I'm a beginner and trying to build an app using Prism will be very helpful. Yes, well, I'm hoping on Thursday I'm going to finish this proposal and then we can start to actually creating some content, right? We'll start creating some slides. We'll start planning out exactly what I'm going to talk about, right? We'll review some of the old stuff I recorded. And then we got to get through this proposal. Pluralsight has to accept it, right? And then we'll start creating the content, all right? Detonated. Brian, is there a way I can contact you besides Twitter? Honestly, Twitter's the best way, honestly. I get so many emails and crap from all over the world. People fall through the cracks. I have a special folder where things get lost. So honestly, Twitter's the best place to get me. Just hit me up on Twitter. Why, is there something that something you talk about that that Twitter isn't a good medium for that? And for those of you who may not know, you can get me on Twitter. No, not Twitch. No, not Twitch. At Brian Lagunas. Oh, detonated. I might have to create one then. Actually, I don't know how to use it. Well, that's a pretty good reason. Yeah, this is honestly the best way to get me. I was getting, like, for example, I actually had to remove my contact info on my blog because it's just too much. I was getting, just pounded and just overwhelmed with requests. So, yeah, had to get rid of that. Okay. Oh, crap. I didn't realize. There. At Brian Lagunas. Actually, I'll just paste this in for everyone. Yeah, not used here. All right. Well, I know this was a short stream today, but I think we made really good progress. I think we have our structure. So I just got to fill in these descriptions. What clips I'm going to record. I'll send this off to Pluralsight after we have this done, right? After we finish this. And then we'll get into the content, in the meat. All the fun stuff, right? We'll start learning everything there is about Prism. Everything. It's going to be crazy. KR Jax, it will be good stuff. And thank you for joining me. I have to go now. I have my Code Camp meeting. Can't be late. But I would like to thank everyone for joining me. And I want to do something before I go. I am going to... What's it called? I am going to... raid. Let's raid somebody. Let's raid somebody. So let's raid CLW. How about that? That's good for everyone? He does some pretty cool stuff. He's probably coding up a really cool project now. So I'm going to start the raid. Once again, thank you everyone for joining me today. We will have a great time creating this course together. And yeah, it looks like we have 19 viewers ready to raid. All right, everyone. Once again, thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.